Airport operations. This tutorial covers airport operations. Each time a pilot operates an aircraft, the flight normally begins and ends at an airport. An airport may be a small sod field or a large complex utilized by air carriers. This chapter examines airport operations, identifies features of an airport complex, and provides information on operating on or in the vicinity of an airport. Types of airports. There are two types of airports, towered and non-towered. These types can be further subdivided to civil airports, airports that are open to the general public, military federal government airports, airports operated by the military, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, or other agents of the federal government. Private airports, airports designated for private or restricted use only, not open to the general public. A towered airport has an operating control tower. Air Traffic Control, ATC, is responsible for providing the safe, orderly, and expeditious flow of air traffic at airports where the type of operations and/or volume of traffic requires such a service. Pilots operating from a towered airport are required to maintain two-way radio communications with air traffic controllers and to acknowledge and comply with their instructions. Pilots must advise ATC if they cannot comply with the instructions issued and request amended instructions. A pilot may deviate from an air traffic instruction in an emergency, but must advise ATC of the deviation as soon as possible. Non-towered airport. A non-towered airport does not have an operating control tower. Two-way radio communications are not required, although it is a good operating practice for pilots to transmit their intentions on the specified frequency for the benefit of other traffic in the area. The key to communicating at an airport without an operating control tower is selection of the correct common frequency. The acronym CTAF, which stands for Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, is synonymous with this program. A CTAF is a frequency designated for the purpose of carrying out airport advisory practices while operating to or from an airport without an operating control tower. The CTAF may be a Universal Integrated Community, UNICOM, Multicom, Flight Service Station, FSS, or tower frequency and is identified in appropriate aeronautical publications. UNICOM is a non-government air-ground radio communication station which may provide airport information at public-use airports where there is no tower or FSS. On pilot request, UNICOM stations may provide pilots with weather information, wind direction, the recommended runway, or other necessary information. If the UNICOM frequency is designated as the CTAF, it will be identified in appropriate aeronautical publications. This figure lists recommended communication procedures. More information on radio communications is discussed later in this tutorial. Sources for airport data. When a pilot flies into a different airport, it is important to review the current data for that airport. This data provides the pilot with information such as communication frequencies, services available, closed runways, or airport construction. Three common sources of information are aeronautical charts, Airport Facility Directory, AFD, and Notices to Airmen, NOTAMs. Aeronautical charts provide specific information on airports. Tutorial 15, Navigation, contains more information on interpreting aeronautical charts.